Hey, what's up guys? Houston here. For those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button, that bell, and if you get enjoyment out, give me a like. All right, now for those of you that's been denied personal loans, okay, and you have good credit and you're like, what's going on here? Well, here's something you may have to undo, all right, in order for you to get approved. Now, many people are not aware of this, that with a lot of these companies, especially fintech companies and stuff, or a lot of these companies that are saying no credit check, no hard pull or whatever, what it is, they're checking different databases, all right? And so the databases that they are checking, you have like Clarity, which is a third-party database that's owned by Experian. You have DataX, which is another third-party database that's owned by Equifax. Then you have Trust Factor or Factor Trust, which is owned by TransUnion. Now, another one of the major ones that most people are not aware of and that are blocking trying to repair their credit so they can get perfect credit is LexisNexis, okay? So with these lenders that say we're not going to do a hard pull on your credit or whatever, they're going to check those systems, okay? Just to make sure that you're maybe not in a recent bankruptcy or you haven't recently defaulted on any other type of loans, okay? So they may not check with the major credit bureaus, but they're definitely going to check those systems, all right? People don't give away free money, all right? I wish they did, but they don't. Here's another thing that you have to understand, and this is very important. Although you may have perfect credit, okay, and you may meet somebody with less than perfect credit that may get approved. And I'm talking about loans from $25, $50 up to $100,000 personal loans that they may get approved, and you're like, hey, what's up? Their credit is not better than mine. Well, here's some of those factors you have to understand. They may have a lower debt to income ratio. That's right. Most people, when they figure they have good credit, they'll approach their bank, okay? They'll approach their bank for a personal loan. But here's the thing about banks versus credit unions versus fintech companies. Your banks and most of your credit unions, their debt to income ratio stops at about 55%. So that means you can't have over 55% debt to income ratio. Now, many of them may or may not include the mortgage or the rent, all right? But once you hit that 55% threshold, a debt to income ratio, that may be something that's really playing a factor, okay, even if you have perfect credit. And so that person with less than perfect credit, they may have a low debt to income ratio. And it also depends on the relationship you have. I made a video talking about Navy Federal and how they're more or less driven toward their internal scores than their actual FICO scores, in which they're actually on the list of some of the banks that I'm gonna actually give you so that you can check them out yourself. And the good thing about these here is most of these lending institutions that I'm going to be telling you about, they use FICO 9. Now, for some of you all, you're like, well, what's so great about FICO 9? Well, it's better than FICO 8, I tell you that. And the reason it is because you can easily build up your FICO 9. See, with your FICO 9 score, they will accept authorized users. They will accept you adding subscription-based companies on your credit file to help build up your credit file, okay? They will accept you adding rent payments to help build up your credit file. So that's the great thing about FICO 9 versus FICO 8, which is your traditional banks. Your traditional bank like Bank of America, American Express, Chase Bank, Capital One. Now here's the interesting thing about those banks. They pull FICO 8, okay? They pull FICO 8, but they will give you a Vantage TransUnion 3 score. So like if you go to Chase and you want to see if they use CreditWise or whatever, but it's Vantage TransUnion 3, okay? So by them, they're saying, oh, this is your credit score, right? But they're not pulling from that system, okay? So because they're not pulling from that system, your Vantage score is usually higher than your FICO score, but they don't use that. They use your FICO score, okay, because there's more data points and more information on your FICO score. If you don't know the difference between your FICO 8 and your FICO 9 score, click the link in the description and actually get your file so you can actually understand it. And if you want more details about your credit report on your FICO score, then schedule one-on-one consultation. All right, I'm just being transparent with you because 90% of the banks, they use your FICO score. All right, now there's only one lender on this list I'm gonna share it with you, and they do use a Vantage TransUnion. Okay, now where would you get your Vantage TransUnion? So you can get your Vantage TransUnion score for free from American Express. That's right, you don't even have to have American Express credit card to get your Vantage TransUnion score. All right, now here's the flip side of that, like I said, because they pull your bank card FICO 8. All right, now the good thing about American Express, and they're not one of the personal loans on here, but one of the things about it, if you, there's the rooster, guys. With that being said, with American Express, they do offer personal loans with no credit check, but you have to be a card holder with them first, okay? And I made a video showing you how to do a pre-approval before you even get a hard pull on your file to see which credit card from American Express you're actually approved for. All right, so that's why you want to do that. Now again, here's the thing about it, what you want to actually understand in terms of if I'm going for a personal loan, especially if I'm going for a personal loan $25, $50, $100,000, who are the lenders that I can go to that I may have the best advantage for? All right, so let's look at Wells Fargo Bank. Now, you're probably scratching your head because Wells Fargo Bank is what? A major bank. But here's the difference. Wells Fargo Bank, they actually use FICO 9. Okay, they use FICO 9. All right, and so again, I just explained how to build up your FICO 9 score. Another thing about it, Wells Fargo Bank, they pull your Experian FICO 9 at that for their personal loans. All right, most of the regions, some regions they may look at your TransUnion, Equifax, but 90% of the time they're going to pull your Experian on the personal loans. Now with their personal loans, Wells Fargo, sorry about that. Understanding with Wells Fargo, okay, with their personal loans go from $3,000 up to $100,000. All right, so a lot of people, I made a video actually explaining more detail about Wells Fargo personal loans. All right, so I'll put a link in the description about them. Now, what's up next is Upstart. Okay, Upstart pulls TransUnion FICO 9. As a matter of fact, you can apply for a Upstart personal loan and see what you actually approve for before you even accept the loan. All right, now the cool part with the fintech, because it is a fintech company, like I said, well, with Wells Fargo, they are a major bank, so their threshold is from 50-55% DTI, where Upstart, they may accept your DTI up to 70%. All right, now that being said, Upstart loans go from $1,000 up to $50,000. Like I said, they pull TransUnion, soft pull to you, so you can see if you pre-qualify for it. The next lender that you want to check out is Upgrade. Now Upgrade, they do 75% debt to income ratio. Now their loans as well go from $1,000 up to $50,000. Their soft pull, their average credit score for them is a 560. Average is about a 678. Does that mean you have to have a 678? No. Now with these fintech companies, they use different data points, okay? Because they're more or less trying not to focus on the credit score, but they're focusing on how long you've been on your job, what's your education level, how long you've been at your address, do you have an active email, do you have an active bank account. Those are the things that they actually focus on in terms of different data points that they use in order to help you qualify. Okay, now Here's one financial institution I want to tell you about is Alliant, okay? Alliant Federal Credit Union, all right? Now with Alliant, they actually pull your TransUnion Vantage, okay? They pull your TransUnion Vantage 3. That's the reason I told you about American Express, using them to see what your Vantage 3 is, and then signing up with them. Now the way to sign up with Alliant, because you have to become a member, you can join their foster care success program, which is only $10. All right, it's only $10 for you to join them. But once you get in there, you can apply for their personal loans and personal credit cards as well. Now, you also have PenFed. Now, with PenFed, the way to join them, okay, they use Equifax, all right? They use Equifax FICO 9. Now, their loans go from $600 up to $50,000. The way to join them is just opening up a savings account. They're not trying to create all these hoops for you to jump through. Also, they do a soft pull because you can pre-qualify to see if you pre-qualify with them, all right? So this other one that a lot of people want to get access to is Navy Federal. Now with Navy Federal, okay, their loans go from $250 up to $50,000 for one individual, up to $150,000 for a couple, okay? So you can get up to $150,000 as a couple. Now they're going to do a TransUnion, but they're going to do a hard pull. Also, Alliant is going to do a hard pull as well, all right? So those are the two that will actually do a hard pull. But again, with Navy Federal, it's internal score. As a matter of fact, there's a video that I'm going to go more in detail. I made a video about Navy Federal personal loans, but there's something else that happened with Navy Federal recently that I'm going to go more in detail about that I think you're going to appreciate. So we'll talk about that Navy Federal personal loan in the next video. But understanding with Navy Federal, again, it's more or less about your internal score, okay? And there are some tricks and tips that you can, hacks that you can actually use in order to get qualified for the Navy Federal personal loan, even if you have challenging credit, all right? Now, again, these lenders are FICO 9, okay, which makes it much easier for you to qualify. And so I would tell you, even if you're banking with somebody or whatever, again, they may have been your bank a long time and you may have a great credit score, but if your DTI, your debt to income ratio, is too high, you may not qualify. Also, they may be inquiry sensitive as well, okay? So in terms of, you know, what are they pulling in order to help you qualify for that loan, all right? So this is Houston. If you have any questions about personal credit funding, business credit funding, click the link in the description and schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.